The Bad Crypto Podcast is brought to you by Badcoin, a cryptocurrency that anyone can mine with any computer. In fact, the older your computer, the better chance you have of getting rewards. Find out more today at www.badcoin.net. Bitcoin is moving sideways after a nice run-up and a bit of a pullback. Are we positioning for the big bull run many are hoping will happen as the halving approaches? A new bill in Congress could have massive impact on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrencies. Does it stand a chance of passing and becoming law? And a company famous for a very well-known beer brand is moving big into the gaming space with plans for their own cryptocurrency. Question is, will you want a twist of lime with their token? So many questions and only a few answers, but we like to set your expectations low so you can expect about that much and maybe more on this Bad News episode number 360 of the Bad Crypto Podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition.
Who's bad?
Only on the Bad Crypto Podcast do you still put the lime in the coconut and drink it all up. You put the lime in the coconut and call me in the morning.
Nice. Sounds like we got a new song.
That's Harry Belafonte right here on the Bad Crypto Podcast, the show for the crypto curious and the crypto serious and the crypto coconutus. Hello, Mr. Travis Wright.
You know, that reminds me of another song from back in the day from Dr. Demento. I know you were a Dr. Demento fan back in the day, but have you ever heard the song She Grabbed My Coconuts?
What?
Yeah. Barry and the Bookbinder. She grabbed my coconuts and then she ran away. I thought I was alone. She came out of nowhere. I asked her if I could show her my coconuts that I'd grown high up in the tree, blowing on my big flute. She was staring at my fruit, answering certainly. Heavy, big, and round. I had them since I was a baby.
Oh, my
Until that horrible lady knocked them all around.
And the moral of the story is don't leave your coconuts hanging out there because somebody might run out with them. Lots of big news for you guys this week. Glad you're here for the show. You might not be after that opener, but we're glad. And we're also glad to have our sponsor, Upland, sponsoring this show. It's a location-based property trading game paired with a decentralized economy. I made a video about this on my YouTube channel. It's a fun game, gang. There's actually like a quality game that is blockchain-based. You don't need to know squat about blockchain to use it. Anybody can download it for Android or iOS. Just look it up, Upland. There's a little llama. His name is Mike B. Chain. That's the llama's name. And you earn UPX as a reward for owning these virtual properties in the game and completing missions. Check it out now. You can get some free UPX tokens to get started when you download the app. Register at upland.me. That's upland.me. Operators are standing by.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the app right now, and it is under maintenance. They are releasing a new version of Upland soon, so they're doing a little update right now.
An Upland update.
Mm-hmm. Upland update. Up down.
And speaking of updates, let's go to the news. Time-stamping this episode on January the 22nd, 4:24 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. The market cap of all the cryptos, $238.5 billion. Bitcoin, 86.47. Ethereum, 167. XRP back up to 23 cents. Bcash, 344. Bitcoin SV, 303. What Tether, 998 cents. Litecoin, $58. EOS, 362. Binance Coin, 1768. And Cardano, rounding out the top 10 at 4.5 pennies.
Yeah, Stellar had a nice run. It's on 11. In the last week, it's gone up 17%. This last week has been interesting because the previous week, which we did not do a bad news, there was some serious run up of Bitcoin SV. Bitcoin Cash did a little thing. Bitcoin went up over 9. Now Bitcoin SV is down 28%, which makes that look like it was a total pump and dump type of deal. And, and then Stellar has been up 17% over the last 7 days. Ethereum Classic up 35%. Dash has had a hell of a run. It's been up. It was sitting at like $35. I believe it was sitting at $35 not long ago. Now it's at $107. It's been up almost 22% this past week. 20% of Tezos has gone up. So those
The
are some
big
pretty nice
winner
runs.
for the week is number 100, up 43%. Thunder Core. I don't know. Bring the Thunder Core. You know, a lot of the Bitcoin derivatives had a really nice run last week, not just Bitcoin SV and Bitcoin Cash, but also Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Diamond, all of the various Bitcoins and all of their forkiness had a little bit of a run. So what the heck is going on in the market right now, Mr. Travis, right?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's been going around and around, and you know what? We were at the big North American Bitcoin conference last week, and then some people were saying it had some stuff to do with Iran and the stuff that was going on there, and then there's more and more cryptos that are being utilized in Venezuela and some of this other stuff, and so it's interesting to keep an eye on all of that for sure. And I know that I want to take a look at this here. The eToro, you and I have been doing a thing on eToro, a portfolio match thing. And I am currently down $75 on my.
Okay. I'm not looking right now, but I am thinking that I don't know what this has to do with the flock of seagulls. I mean, you said it might have something to do with Iran.
And then you ran so far away.
Iran.
That's true.
Couldn't get away.
That's always a joke when you're just like, you know what? It's like Iraq and then Iran. So it's like hitting somebody in the nuts and then bailing real quick. So that's not good to do.
Again with the coconuts. What's up? The obsession with the sack.
Well, you made the Iran joke. You made the Iran joke.
So some are saying that the support is now at 8,600. Of course, we saw Bitcoin hit all the way to 9,200, and then it dropped like $500 in 5 minutes. It was like one of those straight lines down. Bulls are saying that $8,600 is the strength level, and over the last 48 hours, we've hardly seen it depart from that. Haven't seen it go under 86. Saw it just go over 87 a little bit, and it's sideways.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking here at this article on Cointelegraph. You can see all of our show notes, folks, at badco.in/360. And this wasn't actually going to be in the news, but it is so interesting. I want to talk about it. Telegram CEO, Apple's iCloud is now officially a surveillance tool. And I actually saw some of the news on that is, what Apple wanted to do was to encrypt everyone's iCloud account. And then the FBI asked them not to. And so they said, okay, we won't. And so it's better for the FBI to be able to look at everyone's iCloud account than to have privacy for everyone. So there's an article here. Pavel Durov, who's the founder and CEO of Telegram, has said that using WhatsApp, which uses the iCloud to store private messages, are part of the problem. And iCloud is now officially a surveillance tool. Apps that are relying on it to store your private message, such as WhatsApp, are part of the problem. So more and more people, I think, are going to be going to Telegram and Signal and different solutions like that because, in theory, they're not, checking on all of our saved passwords and backed up texts and all that other stuff. So it's just a crazy world, Mr. Joe Com, where we have no privacy.
As long as you're going on the WhatsApp and the privacy, I don't know. Did you see that Jeff Bezos was hacked? By a Saudi crown prince. So the article is in The Guardian, and I'm going to drop a link to that in the show notes as well so that you can see. But apparently it happened from his WhatsApp account. He received a WhatsApp message that had been sent from the personal account of the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, according to the Guardian publication. The encrypted message from the number used by Mohammed bin Salman is believed to have included a malicious file that infiltrated the phone of the world's richest man, and it's highly probable that the intrusion into the phone was triggered by an infected video file that he received over WhatsApp.
Over WhatsApp from the Saudi heir. So here's the thing is that, you don't know, was this a malicious intent from Mohammed bin Salam, or was it his phone was infected? So they sent a video file over there that was infected, and it got Bezos. So, I mean, that's one of the things. Oh, let's look at Bezos's bank account. Let's see what other stuff that you can hack when you're inside the phone. So phone security stuff is really scary moving forward. That's why, folks, don't keep your cryptos on your phone. And it's always a good idea to have a secondary phone where you even have your two-factor authentication and stuff. So Keep that stuff clean. You don't want to have that data on your phone where it's easily accessible. I know it's convenient to have all your on your phone, but it's not safe.
You don't want a digital STD. So you've heard of STDs. This is a DSTD, right?
You got to watch out for those.
Maybe. Yeah. So Jeff, lock down your stuff there, buddy, because they're trying to get you there. Privacy is super important. Back to Bitcoin, Mr. Travis, right? This article here on the Coin Telegraph headline is Bitcoin price matches stock to flow forecast as the 100K halving nears. And the article goes on to say that Bitcoin now almost perfectly aligns with the historically accurate price chart, which has charted its growth from pennies to digital gold. They're saying, according to their model, is that it is exactly where it's supposed to be. If you look on the charts here, and they're saying through this analysis that Bitcoin is on track for $100,000 in 2021.
Yeah, so the stock to flow creator is an analyst known as Plan B. He originally said that Bitcoin's going to hover around the average in the year before reward block halving happens in May. But now he's starting to say that by 2022, a single Bitcoin should be worth around $10,000. So the stock to flow model it's trending upward, saying that it's on track to by the end of 2021. So they're saying by 2022. So that means the start of 22. So we have 24 months, essentially 23 months until it would maybe hit $10,000 or $100,000. So we shall see. There's all these people who have said this. There's all these models that have said that this is going to happen. Oh, we look at my financial models and this and that, and this is going to happen. And historically it's been correct, but now it's talking about bumping up to some big numbers. It's going from 10,000 to 100,000 to $1 million on this stock to flow, thing. And so we'll see.
You know what? I'm only interested when the fashion models start talking about the price. I mean,
check me out on Instagram. Send me a Bitcoin. I love it. It's the coin's digital money. So
actually, maybe we should listen to this guy, Peter Brandt, who was a trader. This dude called the top of Bitcoin at 20,000 when that happened, almost hit 20,000. And he is now saying that the weak hands are out. And if you're waiting for another dip to $6,000, it's too late. Bitcoin has hit the floor and there's nowhere to go but up from here.
Yeah, the strong hands own it. Weak hands are out. And this guy's a longtime Bitcoin advocate, and he was saying a bullish streak is continuing. Now, we also interviewed this week Trader Cobb, and he's saying the same thing, that all of his indications look like it is on an upward trend. A lot of these traders are saying that it is on an upward trend. Everything is looking bullish. We are not financial advisors. We are not technical traders, but we like to, share the information from those of them who are that. And they say that, it wouldn't be too long until we could hit some all-time highs this year, potentially. But then again, take it with a grain of salt.
So the economy is doing well. We're at all-time low, like the lowest unemployment rate in 50 years, all-time low unemployment for minorities in this country. The world economies are benefiting as a result. Many were predicting a recession a lot sooner. The last time was 2008, right, when we had the housing crash. And you found this article on CCN that references what could happen to bring about another crash.
Yeah, so Zillow, which is one of those companies that track all the different real estate that happens in America, they said they estimate that the U.S. housing market was worth over $33 trillion in 2018, and now it is over $35 trillion. But what they're saying is that the U.S. housing market lost some steam last year, and there were some factors that went in to that. So, there was a tight supply with homes that were available, residential homes, in 2018. A lot of that supply has gone due to the price increased due to that weak supply. Well, now they're saying that the Fed is doing some things that could maybe handicap the rates. They're going to trigger the next housing market crash. The UBS has predicted 3 rate cuts this year, and more rate cuts are going to encourage unnecessary risk taking. So more banks are not going to be loaning money on higher risk type things. And so even though the 2018, 2019 had a very nice housing market that had a nice, terrific time, prices were rising. It seems that we're going to see they're seeing more homes spend more days on the market, even though supplies are remaining tight. But with these rate triggers, it could be catastrophic to the housing market potentially. So they said we could have a big crash potential.
More predictions, it's all, the sky is falling. Actually, I'm looking out right now. It's not falling at all. It's very sunny. The clouds are all in place. I don't see any asteroids, that are heading towards the planet that I feel threatened by. I think everything's going to be okay, Mr. Travis, right?
Well, I don't know about all that because I'm looking outside and I see some white stuff falling. So I don't know. That might be.
Oh, is it snowing? Snowing in Missouri? All right, then. Well, you can have it.
So it's falling.
Potentially good news coming to the U.S. Congress. People are paying attention to crypto finally. And apparently last week, a bill was introduced, the Virtual Currency Tax Fairness Act of 2020. The bill's got the potential to solve a major issue with payments made via Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptos, and that an exception would be created for the potential capital gain taxes that often occur when digital assets are used in everyday commerce. It's a bipartisan bill. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. We're working together to solve the issues. Of course, it's just a bill. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And sitting here on Capitol Hill, they've got to propose it, and then the House has to pick it up. They have to debate it. Then they have to vote on it. Then they would have to, say, okay, we're going to pass it. Then they send it to the Senate. And if the Senate passes it, then it goes to the president's desk. And if he signs it, it becomes a law. So there's a long way to go. But at least they're talking about this, right? And that's what's important.
That's right, Joel. I too am a bill. I am a bill. And I did not have sexual relations with that virtual currency. No matter what you say.
If Bill had sexual relations with Bitcoin, what do you get? Bitcoin SV? No. Speaking of,
well, let's finish this real quick before we get into that. Before we go to the next one, because there's some key things on here. So if I'm actually looking at the article, so there was a previous version of this bill that was focused on implementing a tax exemption for transactions in the amount of $600 or less, which seems reasonable. Well, now in the Virtual Currency Tax Fairness Act of 2020, capital gains tax are only exempt in situation where the gains are made by an individual as a result of a transaction would be $200 or less. And so some of those, this actually does open it up, though. If you want to use your crypto debit card and buy some things with crypto that's under $200, transactions that are under $200 would not be taxed additionally, other than, I guess, the sales tax that you're spending whatever money on. So that's interesting.
Okay, that is interesting. Now pretend that I said the thing about Bitcoin SV now, because that would lead to this great segue. Last week, Craig Wright, his lawyer basically said that in the documents he filed with the court over the case that's been going on, it only had his public keys in there, not the private keys, which actually prove access to Satoshi's fortune. So basically, Wright says he's not a trustee of his own keys, quote, because I'm smart enough not to be, because then people could force me to actually move coins. You could take things from trustees. If it was mine, people could have seized assets from me. So he's not wrong about that. But, what does he say about this here in this headline?
Well, he says that he's 99.9999% sure that he's going to get the Bitcoin fortune. But he also, there was another article out there where he said that he does not have access to those keys. The judge said he does not have access to those $8 billion worth of crypto, and thus that they aren't his. And so then he's saying this over here that he just doesn't have them. But then if he does have them, then he's going to be in contempt of court of some sort, because the court said he needs to turn that stuff into the Kleiman family, the estate of his family, and he's not doing that. So there's something crazy going on with that. That's a little uncertain. We don't really. I don't think all the cards have been played on the table yet.
Don't be such a Kleiman.
Okay.
I wrote him because he's been on the show before. I wrote him and asked him if he'd be willing to debate, like a Bitcoin maximalist. And he says, I'm done. Basically, the tenor of the email was, no, I'm done debating, idiots. Bitcoin SV is the real Bitcoin. That's all. So he doesn't
Okay.
even want. He doesn't. Yeah, he's not interested in having conversations. He just he says he's right, and that's Craig right.
You know what? There's a lot of ego involved with that. That's for sure. To say I am
think?
right. I will not going to debate anybody about anything. SV is it. If not, eat a bag of. And he's just, it's a little obtuse to deal with the guy at this point. You know what I mean? Like we've had him on. He was pretty cool when we had him on the show. He didn't seem to be rude. But I think he's just tired of talking to all these people about this stuff, and he's done with it.
Maybe. So the big World Economic Forum took place this week in Davos. And what is the news of the blockchain world coming there out of Switzerland?
Yeah. So Sheila Warren is the head of blockchain and distributed ledger technology at the World Economic Forum. Sheila Warren, probably should get a hold of her, try to get her on a show. So they're having some conversations is that we need to have a blockchain bill of rights. And, I think that in some ways that would be quite helpful as long as they don't infringe upon the rights, as tends to happen sometimes. But, we do need to be able to, there's certain rights I think that we should be able to have. And so they begin to say that, we need the right to own and manage our own data. We have that agency and interoperability, the privacy and security, the right to data protection, transparency and accessibility, the right to information about the system, accountability and governance, the right to understand the available recourse. And so they're creating the initial draft of the blockchain Bill of Rights. It's going to be tested at the World Economic Forum this week. It's going on right now. And over the course of the year, the council will then add additional input into the document via roundtables and interviews. So, yeah, that's what's happened to Sheila Warren. And Samedha Desmukh is the two that are leading that. And it's pretty interesting.
Travis, did you know that BitBoy has his own website?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, BitBoy. And he's one of the beards in BitChain, one of the Bitcoin and BitChain, beards or something. I don't know what it's called. Beards and blockchain.
Beards and blockchain. Yeah, bitboycrypto.com. And he's got a story right here. It's actually a press release that came out from a beer manufacturer, the family known as Corona, which, by the way, I'm not a beer drinker, but in college, that was, after college, when I started working in nightclubs as a DJ, Corona was all I drank with a little twist of lime in it, right? That's how you drink it. And very successful company. But this press release says, and let me just read a little bit of it for you here. Anyone who understands positioning from a market standpoint would assert that Corona is best known for being a cool, crisp, and refreshing brew, best enjoyed with a slice of lime. And they wouldn't be wrong about the positioning of a brand name, that is. It goes on to talk about the family and their purpose in what they have. Well, here's the deal. They are launching the new Corona coin, and it's going to be used for tokens in gameplay. They're getting into the online gaming world, Mr. Travis, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the word corona is a white or colored circle or set of concentric circles of light seen around a luminous body, such as the sun or the moon. That is the corona, and that's the name of the family, the name of the beer. You've had the beer. You've seen the commercials. They got a lot of very innovative commercials on there. But so I think the day-to-day operations of the Corona beer brand has been managed, for the last generation or two. They're not in that, but I think they own a big stake, and so they make a lot of profits from that. Now they're looking to, they looked into the future and they said, hey, this online gaming thing and blockchain gaming and just gaming in general, esports is becoming huge. And so they launched their own new Corona coin. I wonder how many Corona coins it takes to buy a beer, Mr. Joel Conner.
I don't know, but they're looking at offering prizes, including tuition or education paid, mortgages cleared, your college debt cleared, new cars, dream Disney vacations, and tours. And this is the first step. So the original coin, from my understanding, is that it's not crypto, but they wanted to launch it as crypto. It's just that there's so much regulation. They wanted to get this out. So the goal is to move it to crypto. And I guess right now the site is not quite up to date, but we were told in a few days they're going to be launching the new site with a lot more information at coronagames.com. So I don't know, go over there, pop a cool one, and see what you guys think of it.
It does say they are open for pre-registration now. They're going to launch on March 4th, 2020, 41 days away. So right now it says they're launching the first Corona game coin. the Corona family is launching the first online family-friendly game site that allows you to win real-world prizes. Value per coin, $1. For $1, you can start accumulating coins to play the first of many games that they're releasing. I think they said they're going to release a new game every month or something. So they're going to work on it.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see
Be the first of 1,000 people to sign up. You get on the private list, and you probably get some additional stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and sign up right now, Mr. Jolcom.
Get yourself a cool one, Mr. Travis Wright. And while you're at it, why not share Moby with our listeners?
Moby Pay, yes. Good stuff, Mr. Jolcom. Money's been around for thousands of years. I'm actually working on a new presentation called Funny Money, which is the past, present, and future of money, you know, from shells and precious metals and minted coins and paper money and credit cards and now digital currencies and crypto assets. And the transfer of money, if you ever had to go to a bank, send some money internationally or whatever, it's just a huge, cumbersome fiasco. But now payments are going mobile. And Moby Pay, MOBIEPAY, they have an ecosystem with these 3 core applications that let users spend or send money and digital currency worldwide from their phone in seconds. Even if you don't have a bank account, they also have some cashback programs. They're really cool stuff for merchants where people can actually use crypto to buy a gift card that is the exact amount of that transaction. And then that eliminates some of those credit card fees as well for the merchant. So that's really cool. And it just creates this. And there's also the Moby coin. So there's a really cool ecosystem that is being developed. They're creating this really interesting loyalty reward program. So they're doing a lot, but they got a lot of great talent there. They got some really brilliant people on the team, and we are advising them as well. We think it could be a winner. It's mobypay.io.
Check it out there, gang. And let's go around the world and see what's happening. Let's visit Venezuela, but from a distance, because right now it's not really a place you want to go because people are starving there because their economy sucks and inflation is at all-time highs. Apparently, their president, Nicolas Maduro, has announced a crypto casino to support the petro and the public. To me, this seems like such a stupid thing. Like people are starving, and we're going to have a casino right now to support their new cryptocurrency, which I'm sure they're going to kill as well. Which, by the way, I believe is illegal to own if you're an American.
Yeah, you may not own any of that. Around the world news. So Akon, the rapper, he has finalized an agreement for, get this, Akon City in Senegal, and he's been working on developing his own city. Now it's pretty impressive to be like, you know what? I'm so successful at rap. I'm going to have my own city. Yeah. Travis City. Yeah, I don't think they do that. So Senegal's in West Africa, and they are working. They began the construction phase in March of 2019, and stage 2 is going to be going on in 2025. So they're going to be, they're starting this from scratch. Was it like no city at all, no infrastructure? They just said, hey, this is a nice piece of land. Let's build a city here. Is that what's going on?
I guess. And it's going to be powered by a coin, right? That's the name of the cryptocurrency that he's using. I mean, it's seriously ambitious. And in the story, you'll find a link to his Instagram where he's posting pictures, but they just finalized the agreement and they want everybody to come visit one day. He's said he's going to have its own airport, and it runs completely on solar power using the crypto A-coin as a form of currency in everyday life.
So is he just going to be the mayor for life, or it's like, I don't know. Interesting. To be determined. I'm sure we'll update more on this as time goes on. Speaking of news in other countries, we have more news for you, Mr. Jolcom.
I guess we're going to Russia now.
Was that the right one? That was the one that was next, right?
Yeah, Russia's new prime minister sets course for digital economy. He's called on the country to prioritize the use of cryptos, and he wants institutional reforms there in Russia. The state should become digital platform that is created for people, he said, quote unquote. Yeah.
Da, очень хорошо. Blockchain will play an important role with major firms in Russia. Now, this is one of those things that's always interesting, is because I don't know how many times we've reported on Russia. Russia hates blockchain. Oh, Russia's mining Bitcoin. Russia's eliminating cryptocurrencies. Oh, blockchain's going to play an important role for some of these countries like flip flop. Like China was like blockchain bad, now blockchain good. Like it's interesting.
It's a big country, and there's a lot of different departments and people in authority. And so, just like here, SEC says one thing about crypto, CFTC says another thing, IRS says another thing, and the left hand doesn't seem to know what the right hand's doing. And so, who's going to be who stands up and says, no, this is the truth?
Yeah. This is the truth. Well, you know what? I mean, so I do reward the flexibility of them to continue learning, right? And I don't know that we've heard anything from our president other than Bitcoin bad. I don't like Bitcoin. US dollar's huge and going to be great, but we've not heard anything, from blockchain innovations within the US government. You have China, you have Russia that are, and other countries that are. I mean, are we going to be left behind when it comes to the whole blockchain thing? And half the blockchains are being built here. We got all these innovative minds and they're leaving. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I have no idea. Well, let's bring some controversy back over here stateside. So this article in CoinDesk is controversial for a couple reasons. One, because of what it says, and two, because of the response to it. So, we've talked quite a bit about EOS Voice. That is the social platform that Block One intends to launch on EOS. And we even started a side show, a side chain, if you will, a side chain podcast called EOS Voice News. And we've been trying to get Brendan Bloomer, the CEO of Block One, or anybody from Block One to talk to us. And so far, they've said nothing. The last episode we did, we talked about their intent to launch the beta of Voice around February 14th, 15th, somewhere around there, right?
International Love Day.
Yeah, but now here's the deal. This article on CoinDesk, again, this is controversial, says that Block One will not launch EOS Voice on EOS itself. And that is highly controversial if true, because how do you not run your social network on the platform that you raised $4 billion, to make a blockchain?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's an FAQ on their website that says, while Voice is in beta and a highly iterative state, it will be run on a purpose-made EOS.io blockchain. In time, we would like Voice to leverage the EOS public blockchain and potentially others that meet the performance and governance demands of Voice. And so they said that they will launch it on the EOS public blockchain, and maybe they will, maybe they won't, but it just costs a lot for those transactions. Like it costs you $1 to create a new account, and there's all these other fees associated with that. And so some projects are leaving EOS and moving over to Links Chain and some other ones, and Wax and some other stuff.
Yeah, be paying attention. Hopefully we'll have somebody from Links Chain on the show soon. Our friend Kurt Braggett, who's been on the show before, is building Chirp, which is a decentralized Twitter that I've been playing with on the Links Chain. More about that in the future. But Brendan Bloomer is saying that Brady Dale is providing factual inaccuracy in spite of them providing information. The tweet says, already 3 people in this thread that Brady Dale's reached out to who attempted to provide factual accuracy, and all of them were ignored. So there, and I don't know all the details of this. You guys can go to the show notes and read the article, and then you could read this very long thread if you're interested in the drama here. But apparently CoinDesk is being accused of not reporting accurately.
Well, Voice has been very, I would say, elusive when it comes to real information about the platform. Like they announced they were going to launch it, and they announced it like in June of last year, and then just radio silence until one blog post a couple months ago where they said, oh, we're going to launch it in February 14th, 2020, the initial beta, blah, blah, blah. But radio silence. And here's the thing, you mentioned it. They got $4 billion they did that ICO for EOS, which was unbelievable that some company could be worth $4 billion or raise $4 billion and have zero deliverables, essentially vaporware at that point. However, they were standing on the shoulders of, the creator, Dan Larimer, who created, Steam and who created BitShares. And so like, oh, this guy again, so he's going to do this. And so it should be good. We put all the faith in it. So we want to see voice be delivered and do we want to see voice do what it says it was going to do.
Yeah, and we'd like to talk to somebody. They keep putting us off, and maybe if I'm, keep saying this, they'll never talk to us. But come on, gang. Obviously, we were, fans of the idea, and we'd like to see it succeed because we really need decentralized social media on the web. And certainly, there's some solutions that we've been playing with: Karma, Bravo, Somi, and a number of others. But Block One has the resources to really launch something that could have a significant impact. So hope you guys get it together over there. Speaking of getting it together, Peter Schiff needs to get it together. Peter's been on the show a very long time ago, more than 2 years ago. He was one of our early interviews. He's the gold bug that doesn't believe in Bitcoin. And just this week, apparently he lost his Bitcoin, and he says owning crypto was a bad idea because his password is no longer valid. I knew owning Bitcoin was a bad idea. I just never realized it was this bad. Sounds like user malfunction to me.
Yeah, it's I think he didn't have a whole lot of Bitcoin from what it sounded like. That maybe somebody had sent him or given him some additional coins back in the day. What I heard was he had about $100 worth of Bitcoin once upon a time, and then he lost who knows what wallet he had it on, what device he lost it, or he said that that the wallet forgot his password, and his password was exactly correct. And Anthony Pompliano, he said that if he just forgot his password, and he said my wallet forgot it, and the software just executes the commands that humans give it. It can't forget anything. Email me and I'll help you recover the lost Bitcoin. That's what Pompliano sent that. But he said that it looks like it's probably gone for good. Eric Voorhees set up the wallet for me, Schiff said, and he thinks that there's nothing I can do, but you're welcome to try if you have any ideas. And one thing is interesting about this is that if you go to his website, I think it's goldmoney.com, you can buy, or there's shiftgold.com and goldmoney.com. You can actually buy gold with Bitcoin, but you can't buy gold with silver.
Huh. That is funny. Well, here's Peter Schiff's tweet. A lot of people came down on him really hard. I mean, some people in the crypto community were as douchey to him as he's been to Bitcoin, and I don't think that that's necessary. I don't think we should be celebrating somebody not understanding it, but he tweeted, had I actually forgotten the password to my Bitcoin wallet, it would be okay, as I would eventually remember it and figure it out by trial and error. But since I know my password and it doesn't work, there's no way to guess a new random password that may or may not unlock my wallet. What about his seed phrase? I mean, this just doesn't make sense. That's not how blockchain works. Your password doesn't suddenly just not work. There's a key, and your key unlocks your crypto on the blockchain.
That's true. That's how it works.
That's how it works. By the way, on Twitter, sad story here, Mr. Travis. I didn't know why Mr. Peanut was trending, from Planters Peanuts. Yeah. But apparently in the Super Bowl commercial, Mr. Peanut attempts to save the life of Wesley Snipes and Matt Walsh, and he dies at the age of 104. They've killed off Mr. Peanut after 104 years.
So then what are they going to do? They're going to have Mrs. Peanut or Ms. Zer Peanut, or what are they going to do?
Zer Peanut. I don't know, but people are mourning. I have to watch the commercial now to see it.
So what if Nike just goes, you know what? We're just going to kill off the swoosh. Screw it. We're done.
Yeah, the state killed off Mr. Peanut. Hopefully somebody has retrieved his monocle and cane, because that's kind of historic there.
Maybe they can just go Planters Warts and just have a wart be the...
That's not anything to do with cryptocurrency. That's what we call a rabbit trail, good listeners. Back to crypto. This tweet from Jack Dorsey says that Twitter is considering Bitcoin tipping via Square. Of course, Jack is the CEO of both Square and Twitter, so you would think he would be a big fan of finding a way to integrate Bitcoin with the Twitter platform.
Yeah. And he's been a big fan of that. He runs two companies, right? That's a busy dude. He runs Twitter. I would say he kind of runs Twitter.
He runs it in the ground, and he's doing a really great job with Square. Right, Square is one of those financial solutions where you can easily swipe, and like for small businesses, Square is just a godsend for them. Well, integrating crypto payments, and then Dorsey likes to stack sats himself, and it should be interesting. It would make sense. Like, imagine you got a tweet. Oh, I like this tweet. I'm going to send them 100 sats. Right, that would be cool. I'd probably utilize that instead of just a like button. Send them some cryptos. That'd be fun. Good idea. I'm all for it.
Yeah, there's been plugins that you could use to tip people, on Twitter with crypto, but not native to the platform. There's that one platform, altcoin that I found called Snacks, SNAX, snacks.one, that allows you to send their Snacks cryptocurrency to other Twitter users. And that's kind of fun. You get rewarded in snacks for your activity on the Twitters. And apparently I'm raking in. I now have 1.5 million snacks. So if anybody wants some snacks, I'm happy to send this worthless token to you.
That's very nice. I actually have, I think, close to 1 million snacks. I think it's getting there.
Do you like snacks, Travis?
I'm a big fan of snacks.
Are you? I can guarantee there's at least one person out there that cringed when I said snacks.
Who did that? What is that from?
I do it. I sometimes I share my speech a little bit and I talk funny. So
okay.
So one more time, snacks.
Snack. So just so you know, the real Donald Trump has 1.3 billion snacks.
Oh, he should. Know what?
Bieber's number 2.
Too wealthy.
Barack Obama, he's number 3.
That was almost Bill Clinton that you did there.
I don't know.
Barack Obama. Okay, we got a couple more stories to check out here. Interesting stories. This one here on Cointelegraph.com by Dylan Love. Dylan says, wild cards purports to save endangered species with technical first for Ethereum. They are deploying on the mainnet something called a scalable Harburger tax contract, and it might just help save at-risk animals. How?
Not sure. Sounds interesting, though.
So Wildcards is a platform that represents endangered animals as non-fungible tokens. The NFTs are for sale, so they can be traded often to generate funds for the organizations they support. So, for example, organizations doing relief work for the Australian wildfires might list tokenized koalas for sale, and money spent on those tokens goes to an associated organization. So basically, animal tokens on Wildcards are launching a project that is supposed to do good stuff, and they hope to release the token standard soon. So like crypto kitties, but with a purpose.
Yeah, it says this: animal tokens on Wildcards are actually always for sale. As you buy, you have to immediately set a selling price for someone to buy that token from you, but you pay a percentage of that designated selling price called a Harbinger tax in order to prevent you from settling that price to $5 million. Our system is then scalable because all these tokens are managed by a single smart contract. So it sounds interesting. A percentage of that money goes to help out the animals, and Lord knows in a lot of those regions, man, especially all those fires that was over there in Australia, and so many poor animals got hurt, injured, and killed and stuff. And so this is kind of a nice way to give back, especially to endangered animals.
Brutal. Yeah, they definitely need there. And speaking of animals, another completely unrelated story, just because I happen to be trolling Twitter at the moment. NHL mascot Gritty is under police investigation following allegations of physical assault. The mascot for the Philadelphia Flyers is being investigated for allegedly pushing a 13-year-old boy during a meet and greet.
Don't do that, Gritty. That's really
Gritty looks like, if you look at Gritty, he looks like somebody who might do that. Have you seen a picture of this dude?
I've not.
Like, Gritty looks like freaky. Like, I don't know what they're smoking in Philadelphia, but maybe that explains why he's flying.
Yeah. Gritty.
Speaking of sports balls, Mr. Travis Wright, the Chiefs go into the Super Bowl.
That is true. Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. It's pretty exciting. I was there at the game with my son. Craziness. The Chiefs are putting up a lot of points, man. They put up 51 points in the first game, and when they played, they were down 24. They ended up putting up 51. They put up 34. That's this game.
they're doing good. We should see what's going to happen. I think the Super Bowl is going to be one of those barnstormer games where it's going to be full of action. I don't think it'll be low scoring at all. It shouldn't be. The Chiefs don't normally. The Chiefs, since Mahomes been quarterback, we've only had one time where we've scored under 23 points. So I would say there's a pretty good lock that we're going to score more than 23 points. Who knows how many we get overall. Should be fun to watch. I'm just happy they're in the Super Bowl. If they lose, it's not going to break my heart too much because I've never seen my team in the Super Bowl. So first thing is you got to get to a Super Bowl. I'm good. And if they win, that's great. If they don't, that will suck. But that's life. It's not going to hurt me either way. But we do have another piece of sports news.
Yeah, how do you feel about the basketball sports ball?
You know what? I went to school at the University of Kansas, so I'm not really a fan of NBA, but it's really interesting that NBA is the Sacramento Kings. They reign over the crypto fan collaboration with a live auction platform, and they have a small market, but they do have a very big reach. The Sacramento Kings will create this live auction for gear with this blockchain-based app. And starting on January 15th, fans were then able to bid live on in-game sports gear, like, maybe jerseys that players were wearing or patches or different things that was going, maybe game like balls that were used in the game. And so fans can bid on game worn gear. And they have this Golden One Center app, and it's uses the blockchain to be able to support those virtual auctions. Pretty cool.
Blockchain's so over. It's so 2018. Its day has passed.
Mm-hmm.
It's done.
Actually, in 2016, Fast Company named the Kings the most innovative team in sports. So they're always out there trying stuff. And then, the U.S. sports memorabilia market's over $5 billion a year industry. So, combining the two, add a little blockchainification to it, using some innovations and engaging your fans with your unique fan rewards and loyalty programs. It's cool stuff.
A little bit of blockchain in my life. A little bit of Bitcoin would be nice. And that's going to wrap up our bad news. All the stuff so you could snooze.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
And thank you.
So that's what's going on now, folks. If you liked all of that, let us know. Shoot us a review. We're trying to get 1,000 reviews on iTunes by the end of March. If you can help us out, I know we got like 830, 840 something there. So if you can leave a review, that would be really helpful. Or rate it, either two. Just click the star or leave the star and leave a review. That would be magical. We would really appreciate that.
Yep. Stay mad. Oh, no, wait. No. Stay glad. No, that's not it either. Stay fad. It's a fad.
Be bad. It's fun to do bad things.
Be had. So,
be rad. Stay rad.
Stay bad.
Stay Vlad.
Who's bad?
The Bad Crypto Podcast is a production of Bad Crypto LLC. The content of the show, the videos, and the website is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. It's not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice of any kind. You shouldn't make any decisions as to finances, investing, trading, or anything else based on this information without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional financial advisor. Please understand that the trading of Bitcoins and alternative cryptocurrencies have potential risks involved. Anyone wishing to invest in any of the currencies or tokens mentioned on this podcast should first seek their own independent professional financial advisor.